make this video for Father God and how he's going to use it and whichever way he decides to use it. Um, I'm just going to get into it. Yeah, so this is from today's like I think the 24th, the 25th. So this is from the night before. Um, there were three dreams that I had, but there's one only that I've been given to share at the moment. Um, so this dream, there were visuals, but for whatever reason, when I woke up, the only thing I could remember was the color yellow. Um, yeah, like the other two dreams were I could write down stuff about like what was happening in them. But for this one, the only thing visually that I could remember was the color yellow. Um, now it was in the dream or after I woke up that it's kind of hard to explain because um, I'll just read what I wrote. I'll just read what I wrote. So in this dream, it felt like the Lord was saying, um, I don't want to say felt like as in like I'm like trying to like come up with something on my own here. It's basically the idea that what he was speaking, I didn't remember every single little like thing. So I wrote down I felt like, as in like I'm kind of paraphrasing like as I wrote it down. So when I say felt like, I'm not saying like I'm like trying to like make something up. Um, it's because I couldn't remember every single word, so I wrote down the words that I could, and whatever I didn't, which was basically the beginning of it, is when I. That's why I put down I felt like. So what I wrote was felt like the Lord was saying, almost like he was pleading actually, which is kind of, I don't want to say that's surprising to me. It's just the Lord is so strong that like I let me just say like it's like nighttime where I am, and the entire day I didn't really like it never crossed my mind that I would do a video on this. And that being said, like I never like looked I didn't I only looked back on this like paper once. So like I wrote it down and I looked at it like read it back to myself after I wrote it, and I was like, okay, so this is what's happening, this is what's happening. Like but like beyond that, like the entire day went by and I didn't really, until this moment, I didn't really like literally until now, I didn't really understand the fact that when I heard him speaking, it was actually as if he was pleading. And I'm not saying that in sort of some sort of like, I don't know, disparagement or whatever. I'm just saying like it's just crazy to think like the Lord would even plead with us in the first place. I mean, I know it's not crazy to think that because we know He's merciful, but I'm saying like He's so strong that like He doesn't have to. I'm probably like preaching to the choir here because everyone knows He's like merciful, but it's like it's so like I don't know, man. It's just crazy because he's so strong and powerful, and it's like the fact that like he's like willing to even like the fact that he's willing to even grab people is just like it's mind boggling. Like it's crazy. Like anyways, um, felt like the Lord was saying um there are some that are basically playing God without realizing it because they keep trying to direct their own path their own way. And when I thought back about what he said, it was basically it basically felt like he was talking about his body. Um, crap, I just left my trait. It's not even like a big paragraph. I'm just like I lost it. Um, okay, so I'm back. He said he was saying that if they let him order their steps, they will have the good that they've been looking for. Um, I think I made a video like a while back, something about ordered steps. Um, but one thing I thought about after uh, writing this and reading it, it brought to mind. I think it's in Isaiah, or maybe it's in Jeremiah. Uh, but they base the word when it says that it's not within a man which walketh to direct his own steps. And yeah, when he said if they let him order their steps, they will have the good they've been looking for. I don't know who this is applying to, like specifically, but let me just say from experience. When I was probably, actually, I think I was out of college by then. Um, basically, I there are times when we read the word and we can read the word like 70, 80 times, but each time you go over it, um, there's like a new like verse or like a new word that like pops out to you. Um, because like like the Lord speaking to you through His Word and whatnot. And so there was one particular instance when I was going through, and it was the first time I realized that like the importance of like letting God like guide you. Like the first time I like really like I won't say comprehended it, but the first time I actually uh like like the first time I like it actually like grabbed like the first time I understood it, and that was when I read um that verse which says like to this day it's like the verse I just like I'm drawn back to this day, but the verse that says it is not within a man which walketh to direct his own steps, because the night that I was brought to that verse when I went to sleep, um I was literally like I don't know where I was, but I was walking somewhere. I wasn't even walking. I was skipping. And so I had a dream that night after I read that, and I was skipping, like skipping and singing the verse. Like I was like if you've seen a kid skip like on the playground, like I was skipping and singing the verse. So like take that as you will, but I'm just saying I brought that up to make up the point that like where I am now, um, I have been, and I'm gonna have to give a testimony on this. I know, um, at some point later. Um, that's neither here nor there. It's just where I am now. Um, I've been mocked, you know, mocked, made fun of, um, questioned, judged, the whole, the typical 9 yards as far as where I am in life. And there are many people like me where the Lord has given us uh, promises and promise vision and direction as far as where He's going to take us. The key word is where He's going to take us. And because we're in this waiting period, it's like, you know, people see you and you don't look like you're really like doing nothing. Um, but again, I'm saying all to say that I know what it's like to, um, like when you let the Lord direct you, you will have a greater outcome. But I just want to say that it can be like a stripping. For some, it's not like that for everybody. Um, everyone's different, obviously, so everyone's season is different. But um, I just want to make the point. I just want to emphasize the point that when when you give your how do I say it? How do I even say it? When you give your life direction to Christ, like it's one thing to give your life to Christ and be like, okay, Lord, I'm yours, but like it's another thing to actually allow Him and like invite Him to like like systematically, um, just like you know, like intentionally allow Him and invite Him to change the furniture in the room, so to speak. Like again, speaking from experience, but also generally, like most people when they get saved, it's like, all right, so I'm saved now, and we're just gonna try to live the best life we can before He comes to take us. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but like it was basically like, um, for me, it was like get saved, put my furniture in the room a certain way, and then it's like, yo, this couch is cool and all, but it's kind of dusty. Um, Lord, can I have a broom? I need to dust off this couch. And he's basically like, yeah, I'll give you a broom, but you got to invite me in. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll invite you in. And then I invite him in, and so he changes the furniture around. And you and your knee jerk reaction as a man, not as a man as in like a male, I'm saying as a man as in like a human. You and your reaction as like a human is like, no, no, I wanted that to stay there. I wanted this to stay here. Da, 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 da. You're like, it's uncomfortable to like not be in control, or not. We're not in control, but it's like uncomfortable for us to like not have that, like, I call it an illusion of not being in control, or of being in control. And so when you give the reins over to Christ, not only for your salvation but for your life, sometimes you have to let some things go. Sometimes you accept, you bring things in. But I'm just saying all this to say that in the end, those who allow the Lord to grab what He wants to grab, take what He wants to take, move what He wants to move, throw out what He wants to throw out, bring in what He wants to bring in. Those who allow the process to go forth, they won't be disappointed. And I am well acquainted. I am well acquainted with disappointment, and many people are. But in the end, there's no more disappointment. To the point where I can again say this from experience. I can't show it now, but it's like He doesn't even allow. Like He doesn't even allow things to hinder the thing that, like, what you give up in serving Him, what you give up in allowing Him to rearrange the room, He gives back to you tenfold. And it's the type of thing where He doesn't just give it to you where it can be messed with. He gives it to you in such a way that, and as I'm saying this, as the Holy Spirit is like doing what He's doing, I'm actually taking some of this in myself, because yeah. But like when you get to that point at the end of it all, he doesn't just give it to you in the sense that like, okay, here it is, here's your reward. He literally makes it so that nothing can touch it. Like He literally makes it so that nothing can like he makes it so that nothing can get in the, like He makes it so that nothing can, like, there's no devil, there's no counterfeit, whatever you want to call it. There's no thing that can like stop what God is giving you. And that's the difference between what not only what God gives and what the world gives, but that's the difference between trying to walk your own path and allowing Jesus to order your steps. Because when He's, I heard somewhere a person said, like, when He's ordering your steps, He's already like walked in front of you. I can attest to that, but not right now, because it's not the time. But yeah, man, just whoever this is for, and whenever they see it, I'll just repeat it. He was saying that if they let him order their steps, they will have the good they've been looking for. He wants to bless whoever this is for. He wants to give them what he wants to give them. It's a good thing. Whoever this is for, don't be afraid to give him the reins. And that can be in, I know that sounds vague, but that could be Lord, I want you to pick my spouse. That could be Lord, I want you to pick my job. That could be Lord, I want you to pick my house. It's just giving up something that you would have chosen to do on your own and letting him do it, letting him choose it, letting him really make the bigger decisions. And even honestly, just, as the word says, acknowledge him in all your ways. So, you know, seeking him for your life direction, seeking him for what he made you for, stuff like that. It can be small, it can be big. There's tons of things to give over to the Lord. But yeah, whoever this is for, I hope you can receive it. And I can attest, again, the Lord is good and faithful to not just reward, but I don't even know if there's a word. I don't know if there's a word for it, but whatever word would be the equivalent of reward and overflow and giving back. That's like multiple words. Whatever word would be like the equivalent of all those words, like he does that times 10. So just whoever this is for, I hope you can receive this.